Hey guys, it's me, DDP, and welcome to my first episode of DDP's Magic Memories. And this one lands on Father's Day. Father's Day, 24 years ago, actually was on June 15th, 1997. And that was Father's Day. And this one really sticks in my memory of all the Father's Day that I've had. But before I get to that, I want to wish all you guys out there, happy Father's Day, especially if you're those dads that are really putting the work in to really create that relationship and mentor your kids. And a lot of times you don't even have to be a father to help mentor people and help them out. As a kid, I didn't really have that much of a relationship with my dad. So it was other people that I got that mentorship from. And, it was really important, those guys who reached out and helped me as a kid coming up, because they helped me to be the person that I am today. June 15th, 1997. It's Savage Page 2. Just 2 months earlier, I, catapulted into the main event with Randy Savage because of what happened with me and Scott and me and Kevin Nash, the outsiders. When they came in, when those two brothers allowed me to boom, boom, and drop them cats, it put me on a rocket. And then Randy Savage coming in and starting to feud with me, like he asked for this feud, like he wanted to lift me up, man. And Spring Stampede, he put me over in the middle, kicked the shit out of me afterwards, but all that counted was he put me over in the middle. And I swear to God, it changed my life on a level I can't even explain. During that match, Randy came off the top with a double axe handle, and he tore his Achilles heel. Not completely off, but he tore it pretty good. So there couldn't be the next month and have the next match, because he couldn't wrestle. He was on crutches. So matter of fact, it was my buddy Doc West, one of the greatest he's like Yoda, chiropractors on the planet, put him back together so he could face me the following month at the Great American Bash. The place is white hot. I mean, the energy in the building is off the hook, because we were the feud of the year in 1997. So it gets to the end of the match. Now, everybody ran long, so you have to understand, when there's a 3-hour block of time to wrestle in, when it gets to 3 hours and 1 second, it goes to the next program. So what ends up happening is we're getting our match in, but we've only got X amount of time. I think it was like 22 minutes, maybe not even that. And the referee was going crazy, going, "Go home, go home," like we're running out of time. And then Randy ran and hit me with a belt, and then Scott, jackknifed me with that razor's edge. And then Randy comes off the top rope. Boom, he hits me with the elbow, and here's where the memories come in. And a lot of them I don't remember, but I know what happened. What ended up happening is Randy came through, and he had been landing on my ribs for, he had been landing on my ribs for, at that point, I don't know how many elbows I took, but I was starting to piss blood. And I said, "Randy, do me a favor. Every house show, he's landing on my ribs." And I said, "Do me a favor, land on my stomach so it doesn't, keep killing my kidneys, because the doctors are telling me I got to take time off." But I'm not going to do that. Stupid, but I'm not. And he landed on my face. And if you see it, he just boom, he hits and bounces, and 1, 2, 3. And as Scott goes over to help, he picks him up. And as he's picking him up, "We gotta go." And you start to see me sit up, and they go to black. I'm walking backstage. I stop. I look at me. I look at Kimberly, and I go, "Did I just wrestle?" She's like, "What?" I looked down. I'm in my gear. I'm like, "Is it Nitro? Did I just wrestle?" She's like, stop it, Paige, you're scaring me. I go, what the fuck, Kim? You know, what's the deal? Did I just wrestle? What the hell just happened? She said, no, you just wrestled. Yes, it's not Nitro, though. It's a Great American Bash. You just wrestled Randy Savage. I was like, oh, what happened? So Scott and Randy come up and do the, yeah, we won, and I'm behind them. I sit up like the Undertaker, stagger to my feet, fall through the top ropes to the floor, land on my feet. This is Kimberly's telling me all this. I give them both the "you're number one" sign. We walk to the back, and here we are. I'm like, oh no. Like, this is fighting in the back shit. And I've been in a couple fights in the back already at this time. So I'm like, oh God, these guys are going to want to kill me. That's like if John Wayne, Sylvester Stallone, Clint Eastwood, Denzel Washington all pulled out their guns and went boom, 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 boom. And I pulled a Scarface and got up and go, you can't kill me. I'm still tough as nails. Oh my God, they're going to be so pissed. So I go in the dressing room. And I put a table in front of me. Just so they can't bum rush me. And they kick that door in, man, and they rah, 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 rah. I go, I was knocked out. I don't know what happened. Rah, 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 rah. I go, you really think I would do that? I just threw the table out of the way. I go, let's do it then. If you really think I'd do that. Rah, 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 rah. And they walked off because they knew I would never do anything like that. He had to be knocked out. So I went and took a shower. I started feeling something in my mouth. I think it was this side. I started feeling something in my mouth. And I was like, what the hell is in there? And I'm reaching and I can't, and I'm feeling something. It feels like a little pebble. And then by the time I get dressed, start walking out of the building, it feels like a little bit of like a ping pong ball or something. Then it feels like a golf ball. And she's like, Kimberly's like, we're going to the hospital. So we go and they're like, ooh, you got bad concussion. You need to take off wrestling for the next 2 weeks. I'm like, okay. Of course, I didn't do any of that. The next night, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember who I was wrestling, but I knew I was going over after just putting Randy over, so I ain't missing that show. And I ended up, by the time we left the hospital, it was like I had a golf ball. Like a softball, half a softball in my mouth. So my face was still swollen, and it was still swollen. I was icing the hell out of it. It was still swollen the next morning. So we get to the building, and I want to say we were at the United Center. I can't remember exactly where, but I want to say there. And where all the trucks come in, all the big 18-wheelers so they can drop off, all the speakers and all the stuff that makes the big show. I'm waiting there, right at the bottom of the ramp. Because I know at some point Randy is going to show up. And finally he showed up. And he walked up to me and he looked at me like the German shepherd tilted his head and he goes, sorry, brother. And walked off. At least he knew I didn't do that shit on purpose. But that was a little behind the scenes. And I've had many concussions and I've given many concussions. And I'm not proud of it. But I've knocked plenty of guys out and been knocked out plenty of times. One of the reasons I'm in a hyperbaric chamber every morning. So, bottom line is, all you fathers out there, I hope you have an awesome day. And guys who haven't had that dad around, I was one of those guys, so I get it, man. Find yourself someone who, you can look up to. This was like my big brother and my dad. That's me in the American Dream 33 years ago in Florida Championship Wrestling. Have an awesome day, boys. Hope you enjoyed the story. See ya. Bye.